what's up guys? So yeah, this is BF Homes Paranaque. And yeah, so we're here. You know why it's crazy to drive here in Philippines, particularly near Manila? Because you're gonna encounter a lot of people who drives the car like they just know how to operate the vehicle, but they don't know how to use the road. That's the term. Even there's a traffic enforcer, they wanted to make their own law. And road rage is a very common here in Philippines. And you know, and sometimes when you road rage here in Philippines, they just pull their guns and you know, that's it. So it's not worth it to give in to the temptation because someone's being a, you know, asshole. And when you drive a motorcycle here in Philippines, especially when you drive the small ones like the 150cc, it's very common that some cars, you know, like to bully the motorcycles. So yeah, it's like even if they're wrong, they're still right because they just you know, they just own the car, so that makes them right, and that's so unfair. So that is the number one hazard here in the Philippines if you drive. So most of the people, like what I said, just don't know how to use the road. So they don't know how to yield. Sometimes jeepneys will like, they'll stop in the middle of the road and pick up some passengers. Of course, that's a major delay of the traffic. And other people would cross the street even it's prohibited. Because you know the one of the negative mentality of the Filipinos are the shortcut mentality. So when you say shortcut mentality, for example, I'm going to cross the road because that's where I have to go. Example here, and I just have to cross the road because I have to go to the mall. So, but I have to walk like 100 footsteps to the footbridge, and they just don't want to use the footbridge because it's so tiring. But of course, purpose of that footbridge is to take you away from any danger, of course, and that's where the taxes go. Building or the building structures for the people, and they don't use it. So if they got hit by a car, of course, even if it's their fault, it's you know, it's the car's fault now. And for not using that footbridge, later on they're gonna regret it when they're on the hospital. Like, yeah. So you know, others told me that even if the footbridge is too far away, I'm still gonna use it because you know, I'd rather sweat than bleed. Another thing is bus operators these days, you know, they drive a big vehicle. Of course, that's a bus, and the way they drive, they're just like motorcycles on the road. They veer from right to left without warning. So that's very scary. I've watched some videos like the truck just, you know, he's just carelessly veering from left to right, and he hit a vehicle, a car, and he's trying to escape. Of course, that's a highway. How can you escape? If you go to some places in Manila, like somewhere there, you're gonna see a ton of pedicabs on the on the main road. Of course, they're slow. Jeepneys who pick up passengers at the middle of the road, even if it's prohibited. Buses who, yeah, the same thing. Yeah, what jeepneys do, they also stop at the middle of the road if someone has to go to that location, or if someone has to get off from the bus. And if you drive if you drive a car being mixed with that kind of traffic, of course, if there's no traffic, or if the traffic is light, you're gonna arrive to your destination. Example, if I'm going to Alabang to Manila, that's just no more than an hour. But if the traffic is heavy, so it's like 3 hours or 2 hour travel, or not more than 3 hours. If you travel by a motorcycle, it's not practical to drive a 1000cc for this kind of traffic. Because you're gonna encounter bumper to bumper traffic, and sometimes you can't lane split, not because it's prohibited, as you can lane split here in the Philippines, but of course the situation that you have to lane split, you can't make it because the cars or vehicles are like super close to one another. So yeah, the practical motorcycle is for commuting here in the Philippines are the like that 150cc. The infrastructure of the roads here in the Philippines are not that quite of like the American roads where you can access the highway immediately. But, Philippines is a growing community for the big bikers, the big displacement motorcycles, because of the tourism, and there's a lot of events for the big bikes like Boss Ironman. A lot are enjoying being on a motorcycle, like traveling to provinces just for fun. Yeah. And tourism with a motorcycle is more fun here. Sometimes when you get lost but you're on a motorcycle, it's like it's not a problem. I'll just make a turn now or make a maneuver. And these days it's a growing community of the adventure bike, because the situations here in the Philippines it's a hot, so you just want to relax while you're riding. So adventure bikes are more practical for that kind of adventure. But there are others who owns a street bike, but not that too many as the owners of or a growing community of the adventure bikes, especially Kawasaki Versys 650. There's so plenty here in the Philippines because it's more cheap. So there you go, guys. See ya, and don't forget to subscribe.